Today I'm in my studio and I'm about to share with you some of my very best tips on how to blend acrylic paint. These tips are going to help you blend large, really colorful areas on your canvases, as well as small areas, like if you're working on an area around an eye or a nose. So these are important skills to have for every acrylic painter, no matter the type of paintings that you make, whether you are a realist painter or an abstract painter. These tips will help everyone, especially if you're a beginner and you're kind of timid about figuring out how to blend paint. I know when I started painting, I was really nervous about blending colors together, and I made a lot of paintings with just flat areas of color for a while because I had to work up the nerve to do it. And what I would say is just jump right in, experiment, get some cheap canvases somewhere like Dollar Tree or Michael's, like a value pack, and just do a lot of practice with the tips I'm about to show you. I'm using Liquitex soft body paint for this tutorial, but you can use any type of acrylic paint with these methods I'm about to show you. The first method is just to paint an area on here. Clean our brush off. We paint the other area beside it of another color. And it's good if you have a good amount of paint on there to do this. Then you clean off your brush again. So you have a damp brush, but it's not really damp. You dry some of it off on a paper towel. And then you can make cross-section marks like this, or you can also go back and forth like this. And keep cleaning off the brush while you do this. You can add a little more of this color over here. And you can see as you keep working at it over time, the blending starts to get better. This method is probably the most widely known method of blending acrylic paint colors together when you're working on a canvas. But the thing is, it's not my favorite way to do it. I actually prefer to do this in a different way. So I'm going to show you another method. This time I'm just putting paint on here pretty thickly. And I'm not doing it in any particular way. It can have ridges on there. You can see some of these areas are sticking up more than others. It doesn't need to be really smooth like this other method that I showed you. We're just putting a bunch of paint on here near each other. Okay, and you see how that doesn't look very good right now, right? And here's the tool we're going to use for this. This is called a mop. It's a type of brush that they use in watercolor painting. You can see this brush is very well used. It's actually kind of coming loose. But the awesome thing about this brush is that it works on really large areas. So the area that I'm about to show you is kind of small for using this as an example, but I'm fairly confident that it'll work well enough for you to see. But if you're trying to cover a really large area on your canvas and you want it to all be blurred out just so perfect, use a dry mop. And the secret here is that this mop needs to be dry. It can't be wet. And so it's kind of like once you put the paint on there, you got to start working pretty quickly. You got to do this on one side of the brush, and then you can flip it over and use the other side. But if you have to rinse the brush off with water, you'll have to wait for it to dry and then put wet paint on there again to do this, because this is a wet on wet method using a dry brush. Okay, and so what you do is you just kind of smooth it together like this. This is called scumming. You can see how nice and blended that looks. And it's really fun if you're trying to make abstract textures, because you can put all sorts of different colors on there. You can literally just pour the paint on the canvas, and then you can just scummel around with one of these dry mop brushes. It's just so much fun. Now, the thing about the mop though is that you can't really work on small areas with it. I mean, it's a very big brush. These mops are made for covering large, really abstract areas. So if you're trying to work on a smaller area, you can use a brush called a filbert. This has more of a rounded edge. You can see this flat brush that I used at the first part of the tutorial. It's kind of wet now, but it's more squared off. A filbert is more rounded. So it is not quite like a mop, but it's fairly close, and it will allow you to do a similar thing with smaller areas. My last tip is really the best one, because this is for working with small areas of color. I like to use angle shader brushes, but you can use any type of smaller flat brush that you would like. So we're just going to put some areas of color on the canvas. And then what I like to do is just dab. And if one of the areas of color is too dark, like you can see this purple is quite dark, so I will add more pink on my brush and just start kind of dabbing in. It depends on how much I want the fade to be a more purple tint or whether I want it to be pink. But I can always add more purple and create a color transition in the smaller area. See, that looks really nice. Next important thing to learn is how to reuse your painting palette. I've made an entire video. You can watch it here. It shows you a very easy and affordable way to reuse your paint time and time again. This will save you so much money. I know it has really helped me and my painting practice to be more affordable. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.